Well, good afternoon and welcome to the round 6 of the 2018 GPS rugby season. Today we are live from Main Oval, the home ground of Churchie, where they host Brisbane State High School. There's a long history between these two teams and schools in what should have plenty of feeling this afternoon. My name is Michael Chettle, and as always, joining me in commentary is the one and only Nick Darvanese. Nick, good afternoon.
Pleasure to be here, Michael. Thank you very much for having me again. Can you believe there's only 4 games left of this GPS rugby season, including today? After today, 3 weeks left. So we're heating up right as it gets spicy in the competition.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of who's going to win, who's going to lose. It's going to make a lot of make-up in the last few rounds. So, mate, it's been pretty exciting last couple of weeks. But last week, you had the pleasure of calling the game and while I was away. But, mate, some good rugby last weekend.
Oh, some phenomenal rugby. The Southport School really showed off what they could do in a stunning win, 59-15, ending BBC's not premiership run. They're still in with a chance, of course, but it gets all that harder with a big loss to Southport. A couple other big results around the grounds. Brisbane State High School, our team today, got their first win of the season. That's right, they broke their duck, 39 points to 17 over Toowoomba Grammar School, who missed 50-something tackles in what was quite a loss. Meanwhile, Brisbane Grammar School also got their first win of the season, 32-29 at Gregory Terrace. Second year in a row, Grammar have beaten Gregory Terrace, so building up a little streak there. And of course, Churchie on this ground, 31-17 over Ipswich Grammar School.
Interesting stuff, mate. Let's just go quickly back there. We'll talk about the ladder, and then let's go back to the 53 tackles, which I want to talk about. So I've got Southport School on top there, Nick. Is that any surprises for you?
No surprise at all. They've got a forward pack that deserves to put them on top. Nudgee, of course, 1 game behind. They're equal on points, really. I mean, they're undefeated, both teams. But one thing that really catches my eye, this table, it's a 5-way tie for, I suppose, last place at the moment. We've got 2 teams, though, with a chance to break off that.
Very interesting. Look at those for and against there. We always talk about the differences here and there. So with Southport School at the top with the 166 points difference. But just going back to talking about last week's game for State High there, you mentioned 53 missed tackles by Toowoomba
Grammar School, yeah.
Well,
that's right.
that's got to be some kind of record if there is a record there.
I mean, and State High's attack has been, I suppose, floundering in the last few weeks. They've not. It's not been an area of great strength for them. They're coming in last ranked in the competition with scoring at 16 points per game, but they were able to double that against Toowoomba Grammar School, and I think that says plenty.
Well, look at this one more time. Our cameras get you right in the thickest things. So if you've never ran out before, this is... Oh, there's a goal with a cape again, Nick. We see a cape. How good's life?
Very in fashion these days in the GPS, mate. In hot demand capes.
Look, this field this afternoon, there was a threat of rain today, but there's not a cloud in the sky. And here we go. Here's Churchie's run-on teams. We've got Max Drummond and Ben Ryan in front row, with Aidan King at hooker, Fred Frutrell and Charlie Scott in the second row, Will McPherson, Connor McKinlay and Angus Ogilvie in the back row, Aaron Prosser and Charlie Howard taking the team round the park, Harry Carrigan and Jacob Middleton Poll on the wings, Ben Stoddart and Izzy Sword, and at fullback Wayne Carrigan.
And facing them down today, Brisbane State High School in the front row, a really powerful front row led by Linston Tuyumvave, the captain Nesta Mahina, and tight head prop Tom Fowler. In the second row, 195 centimetres, Zeph Tuinona and Tom Duke is his partner. In the back row, Vian Joubert, Chizzy Vaka and Sam McKenzie. In the halves, Luke Waldy and Francis Pona. On the wings, Tao Tuisamoa and Grant Tuisamoa, the 2 brothers. In the centres, Sam Silly and Isaiah Day English. Rounding out the team at fullback, Luke Nielsen and the coach, Pat Byron.
Well, Nick, I think we saw State High a few weeks ago. Nesta Mahina, he's an everywhere man, isn't he? So he's really got to lead by the front today. If I think State High are going to give Church a real push this afternoon. Yeah, well,
obviously one of the great areas of strength for Church traditionally, with 2 wonderful front rowers, and Zach Crothers, an Australian schoolboy, and JP Domenico, a Queensland schoolboy. Both of those boys out injured today. So that role falls instead to Aidan King and Ben Ryan, who just are coming up from the second 15 and, I beg your pardon, grade 11, 16As to fill that role, but they're up against it in a huge challenge against an enormous State High front row, giving up 50 kilograms across the 3 positions.
That's a human being, isn't it? That's massive, 50 kegs. And let's talk about Francis Pona. First game of the season at 10 last week, and scored 39 at Brisbane Store. Oh, let's just watch this.
Churchie with young Aiden King last out the tunnel.
Well, we were right next to that tunnel there, Darva, and as you know, we just want to run out every single time. But Angus Ogilvie, the number 8, leading the charge out there.
And the boys will wait. Hopefully they don't have to wait as long as Southwood did last week for Brisbane State High School, for Brisbane Boys College, I beg your pardon. They took forever to get out there playing some mind games. We'll see if that's backed up again today. I suppose while we wait, we do have some time to talk about this front row in a little bit more depth. Churchie.
Why don't you give me a
Well, you won't miss Chizzy Vucker with that afro bouncing around there in the number 7 jersey.
Well, let me tell you, if anything to go by how pumped up Sam McKenzie was, the big number 8, he was loving every second of it. So both teams out there at the moment, shaking hands. The usual standoff by State High. So Darvo, as of State High breaking the duck last week, they've been on a bit of a high, I would imagine, especially beating Toowoomba Grammar quite convincingly. So this is going to be an interesting game this afternoon.
Well, that's right. You'd figure that with the table as the way it is, Churchie should win this one pretty handily. I mean, State High have not shown much in their first few games, but there's an upset brewing in the breeze.
And as Darvo, you just said that the breeze picks up dramatically coming across towards us on the screen.
No, it was not. We ran the other way. We ran the other way. Yeah, 100%.
Well, you don't see that too much in a rugby union game these days, swapping sides.
Well, I think that's the value of this win is why the boys said, actually, we've changed our mind. We want to run with this win in the first half.
So I think Nestor Mahina was the instigator of that one there as a skipper. Very good.
Thought you boys might have come to an agreement.
Our referee today, Brett Cronin, having a laugh with Charlie Howard, the fly half for Churchie.
So here we go. Charlie Howard to start proceedings. Ball goes high, middle third of the field. Well, taken there by Churchie straight away. State High in a lot of trouble early. There's that win maybe early, Darvo. Took it away. Big number 4 is Fred Futrell. Contact right in the middle of the field. Prosser just settling things down a bit. Here we get one out off the ruck. Missed tackle there by one of the big second rowers, I believe it was. Inside, outside ball. Good short ball. There was Charlie Scott with a run.
Crunching tackle from Francis Ponar.
There was Ben Ryan taking the offload. The big fella. One more time. Down the right-hand side of the park. The big number 8, Angus Ogilvie. Bit of a lopping pass. Good contact there by Tafatumavave. Bit side to side at the moment here, Darvo. Bit of a feeling out period this first couple of minutes. That's a 22-metre line out, just as in the top of your screen. Inside ball. Tackle by Mahina. One more time on the right, cut out ball. Number 5 there is Fred Futrell. Sorry, big pardon, Charlie Scott. Taken in there. 13 is Sword. As we don't know much about Sword, but he's a big lad, Darvo. He's a big man.
111 kilograms is his Sword.
Good con. Yeah, State High. They're not going very far. All Churchie doing from left to right. Still the 22-metre line right there. And there we go.
Big turnover, won by Vian Joubert. The blindside flanker over the ball.
That's right. That was his patience there, Darvo. The State High. And as we see, the 22-metre line was right there. And actually, the Churchie were going from left to right. No movement at all.
Well, that wasn't incredibly by design. I mean, they were trying their best. That ball's nearly hit me. Sorry, I've lost my train of thought.
So right on the 10-metre line, there's plenty of wind behind that one there. You can't really see it with the touch judge's flag, but guarantee you there is a bit of wind. So Mahina throwing the ball in.
Zeph Tuinona, his tall target in the middle. Duke goes up.
Off the top. That was Waldy out to Pona. Inside ball. Good run.
Sam Silly.
One more time. Good contact. Mahina doesn't get far. Tries to pop the ball out the back. It's a turnover to Churchie one more time. State High have to go back to their defence. One more time. This time, man over the ball. No good. Outside from Howard. Howard with a long pass. The big number 6, McPherson.
He's been busy.
Trying to just get big man and little man. 2 passes to the left-hand side. Contact there. Keeping him up off the ground. Still going. Over the 22-metre line. First time, really, we've seen State High's defence pushed. Oh, good contact by Tuamavave. He's come out of the line and said, come here.
He has introduced himself very politely to his opposite number. That is a crunching shot from the former Queensland under-15 and league representative. Monstrous. Shooting out of the line here. The ball telegraphed Connor McKinlay. He eats a shoulder.
Well, Charlie Howard, I tell you what, his body was facing the ruck there, and I'm not too sure whether McKinlay's happy with that.
Bind. Set.
So we're looking at scrum stats to the bottom left-hand side of your screen.
Both teams very, very good in the scrummaging area of the game.
So just outside the 22. 3 tackles broken. Getting up towards the 10-metre line.
Grant Tuisamoa.
Good contact one more time. Tom Fowler with a hit, the big fella. Doesn't get too far. Tuinona try offload again on the right-hand side. Churchie over top of the ball. Referee says play. Yep, there we go, Darlo. And we've spoken about this many times. The quality of these back rowers these days, if you've got a split between you and the next player, the back rowers eat you for breakfast.
Well, they're so versatile. Will McPherson there, the number 6 for Churchie, wearing that red headgear. He's been the lock for the last couple of weeks. He's moved into the blind side as a result of a bit of an injury crisis. But last year, he kicked for goal. He can do everything. Kicked for touch, I should say. He's got an AFL background. Hails from Gunnedah in New South Wales. Spent a bit of time playing AFL in Melbourne. Finding his home and the first 15 for Churchie.
So just on the 22-metre line.
Aiden King wins his first throw of the day.
Rolling into the 22. So this is where the patience now of State High has been very, very critical. Picking and driving.
7 step.
Just on 10 metres. Pick and drive one more time. Good contact by Sam McKenzie. One more. Ball at the back of the ruck. Slower ball. Pick and drive. Good contact one more time. That was easy pickings for Brisbane State High's defence.
The Australian schoolboy Fred Futrell going in there.
Pick and drive only a metre at a time. That's all you need. Tom Fowler with a tackle. Pick and drive one more time. Fowler not rolling away, but he's okay. That was a bit of a high ball for Futrell. One more time. McKenzie in there. Very busy. Inside ball. Call for a pilfer. Good contact. Try time. Darvo, that's just patience there.
Phenomenal stuff. Patience from Churchie. You've said it exactly right. Building through the phases. They knew their side-to-side approach from before wasn't working out for them. So what other way to go through the guts and through them? Fantastic stuff here from Churchie. The short ball, I still couldn't catch a number there. It was a great, well-taken try.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And that's great rugby while you're number 9 and 10. We're going from side to side. Let's go through them.
I think I'm happy to give it to Aiden King. The hooker scored a try last week on debut in the first 15, filling in for the injured Australian schoolboys hooker Zach Crothers.
It must be the year of hookers scoring tries. I know we called a few weeks ago, you know, hat trick of tries.
Hudson Mulcahy from Gregory Terry. He scored 3 on the day against Brisbane State High School. He was really the punch that sort of led to their downfall in that match. Hopefully Aiden King's been taking some notes.
So we've got Aaron Prosser here. 6 from 9 in 2018, so at a 66% kicking rate. Hits it. No, he gets taken with a win. Didn't hit that too well, Prosser. So Churchie 5, State High 0. This win's going to play a little bit of havoc this afternoon, I think, with some high balls.
Oh, he's a real talent, this Aaron Prosser, kicking for goal. Johannesburg born, moved to Australia 5 years ago, in grade 11 this year, but represented the combined states team. So didn't quite make Queensland, but he'll be one absolutely looking to make a mark next year.
So kick-off now. State High, wind just dies down a touch. Kicks it high, goes just on the inside. Good take by 14, that's Middleton Pole. He gets about 5 or 6 metres outside the 22-metre line. Out one more time. This passing by Aaron Pross has been a little bit high at the moment. Good contact, keeping him on his feet. Ball goes down. Trying to get themselves out of trouble. State High. No, tackle. Yeah, that's good play by the big number 4, Futrell. Box kick in this wind could be a good option. Taken well. Left foot step. Jersey sling. Good tackle. Good pressure by Churchie there, Davo. They're on top of him.
Luke Nielsen, the fullback, had an absolute job there.
So there's numbers out here for State High if they can use them, but no, they don't. Big second rower. Going to the right is Waldy. Referee calls advantage. Just between the 10-metre and the halfway line. Penalty there.
Quickly. I'm not going to reward you if you're deliberately knocking it on. Offside. Okay, you can go now.
Luke Waldy, the halfback, trying to game the referee a little bit. His old man played for Brisbane State High School back in 1983 as a teammate of David Wilson. Wallaby open side flanker.
The great David Wilson, exactly. He was one of the best.
One of many Wallabies come out from State High over the years. Matt Tamua, Samu Karevi.
Can they all go play for the Wallabies tonight and do something? Let's hope so. Something. So here we go, State High with the throw-in. Taken well by Churchie, knocked on the ground. That's those 1%ers that all your coaches want you to achieve.
Well, that's certainly Wallabies-esque, isn't it?
That's certainly Wallabies-esque. Just on the 10-metre line. Another pick and drive by Churchie. Contact by Waldy on the deck.
Oh, McKinley's had a couple of big shots. Big Vian Joubert.
Now they're trying to get out of trouble here. It's been touched, says the referee.
That's a wonderful kick.
So Nielsen stepping that. He's only a small fella. He's gone against the big number 15, Wayne Bilston. They've kept him on his feet.
It's a rolling ball. There's no need to roll away. This will be a turnover for Churchie.
Yes, there we go. You've called that perfectly, Darvo. Yeah, he just wasn't getting to the deck, was he?
No, brilliantly executed play. I mean, you put the kick up in an area where there's no room to make a move, wrap him up in defence and force the turnover. That's excellent execution from Churchie.
And I'll tell you what, in this day of this wind, being a winger or a fullback is going to be a nightmare for high balls.
Well, interestingly enough, Churchie tackling at 75% success rate in 2018, making 291 tackles across their 5 games so far this season. 4 matches, I apologise. They enjoyed the bye in round 4.
Hey, you got some really good enthusiasm, but let me do it.
As a typical halfback, he knows everything about a scrum, of course.
Well, it seems there are lots of halfbacks moving into refereeing. Nick Berry, one of the more notable former players, the former Queensland Red, transitioning into the ranks of refereeing. And
transitioning fast up the ranks, didn't he? He's done very well, Nick Berry.
Crouch.
Damon Murphy, another former fullback for Brothers Rugby Club, and Nudgy.
Well, it goes to show you that those guys have the feel for the game and how they talk to players as well. So there we go, Aaron Pross's advice to the referee. He's taken that on board.
We mentioned before the match, giving up a 50-kilogram advantage to State High. Churchie.
So Prosser finds the line just on the inside of the 22. Aiden King to throw the ball in.
And you got to wonder whether their approach inside the 22 will be reminiscent of their first try.
So line-outs there, 39-27 success, pretty high up there. But looking at Churchie, 10 steals is a real good stat.
Got a very tall back 5 today, 192 centimetres tall on average. Plenty of line-out targets.
So ball went just a little bit over the top of the intended catcher. State High really fast off the line this afternoon, not giving Churchie any room to move. Pick and drive and pop ball, left-hand side.
McKinley, so much courage. He's caught an absolute beating so far this match, putting his hand up for more work.
So they were just going in a game of inches. Just let's go through them, not around them. Pick and drive, metre at a time, metre at a time. Good contact by State High one more time. That's Tuamavave. It's a bit slower. This is exactly what State High would like. Big 5 is Charlie Scott.
No support.
Not much of him. He's a big, tall lad. To the right-hand side. That's a try time there. That's number 6, Will McPherson. That was just, again, Darvo, patience and just shifting the ball, 1 or 2 passes.
Well, I said before the match that State High would have to channel a bit of the Southwood school if they were going to have any chance of beating Churchie. It seems Churchie heard that name and have stolen it. They're absolutely beating State High through their forward pack.
So you see the defensive read here by Mahina, and also there's who's that there, Luke Waldy, and it's just miscommunication there, I think, Darvo, and the big number 6, McPherson, goes in for a try.
193 centimetres tall, Will McPherson striding out of the tackles of State High. He's actually had the second most number of carries in the entire competition. He's got an absolute work rate. The heart of a stallion, Will McPherson, and a try to go with it.
So Prosser makes no mistake there. 12-0. 13 a little bit gone in this game.
Well, in State High's match last week, they dominated possession in the opening 10 minutes against Toowoomba Grammar School and were able to really sort of turn the screws there. They've had that position absolutely flipped the next week over. Churchie are looking very, very tough to stop.
Yeah, very professional outfit so far from Churchie. Hasn't been rattled by State High's defence. Kick-off one more time. Perfect kick-off. Great take there by Tuinona.
Big Zeph came off the bench for the Queensland Schoolboys in the National Championships.
Actually, I stood next to him before. He's a very tall man. Offload, there he goes, the man we're talking about. Go, woo! Bumps off the tackler. No worries at all. Again, there's Waldy and the big guy, tougher Tumavave. Waldy out to Pona. Cut out ball there to, who's that there? Silly. So referee, yeah, good communication by the referee, Mahina. He loves the contact. A big number 5, Tom Duke.
A good defence so far, no inroad.
There was Vucker. Vucker with O. He passed it to number 10. Is Pona. Pona about 10 metres out from the try line. This is trouble time for Churchie. They need to be patient. Good contact. Vucker again. 5 metres out. What will State High do? Will they use their sheer size? Waldy. Offload from Joubert. Going left, going right, coming back this way. Churchie off the line quite quick. So we
need a halfback.
Yeah, that's it.
They found one.
Probably the biggest halfback ever. So Waldy looking, wants the ball faster. Pona. Inside ball to Tui Samoa.
That's Tau.
Waldy again. Vucker taking the contact. Supported by Joubert and Mahina in the tackle. Churchie not committing numbers to the breakdown. Tom Fowler taking a hit up.
Well, racking up the phases now as Chizivaka goes into contact.
Yeah, he's been busy now in the last couple of minutes, Vucker.
Driven back by his opposite number, Connor McKinlay from Mackay.
So, patience now. That's exactly what State High's coach would want. Ball hits the deck, not a good option.
Jeez. For all that work, they've gone backwards.
That's it. Pona and McKenzie in a world of hurt.
And it's been turned over on the counter-attack.
Turnover there, and there's McKinlay. So that's devastating for State High. Left-hand side of the field. Got on the outside of him. Step left off his left foot. 2 double steps. Good foot movement by Harry Carrigan, I believe it was. Wind is picking up one more time. Oh, there we go, Duke. He's got to come off the line very fast.
McKinley's been an absolute hit magnet today.
So, good the bounce of the ball.
Oh,
it suits. No, it doesn't. It goes the other way. Stay high on the right-hand side. Offload. Right in front of the Churchie crowd. And a knock on there. I saw a penalty. Yeah, I think
knock on. Aiden King's hand got in the way of that offload.
The bounce of a rugby ball, Nick Darvanese, I'll tell you what.
Didn't that just give it a breath of an injection of life into the State High back three? There's a grant to Tui Samoa on that right wing. Look to make something happen.
So anything can happen. I think the coach will be saying, do not let the ball hit the ground, especially in this wind.
I beg your pardon, there was Isaiah English. So this enormous State High front row haven't been able to achieve dominance yet. But an instant penalty.
So it looks like referee's saying it wasn't packing straight. Here we go, quick go. Isaiah Day English, number 13, with a run in the middle third of the field. Pick and drive Mahina. Loves the contact, the big Mahina.
Over the halfway.
Waldy goes back to Pona. Pona trying to just get him out of trouble. That's a great kick, putting pressure on the back three of Churchie.
The chase, slow to arrive.
Big kick, doesn't find touch, does it yet? Yeah, that's an unbelievable kick, Darvo. Right out of the 22 metre, and that's with interest.
Well, the wind didn't help him more. It was blowing his kick away from the touchline. Phenomenal kick. Well into state high territory.
So, as you said before, yeah, the scrum isn't really dominating for the size of Brisbane State High, but it's going to be interesting to see whether a bit of fatigue comes in.
Yeah, maybe. Well, you got to say this Churchie pack have been so well drilled. I mean, that one of their great strengths over the last few years has been the set piece. Their defensive line-out, especially under coach Michael Lucas, who's moving on at the end of the season.
So short line out there, right in front of the Churchie crowd. You know they've done something right when the crowd cheers. Contact there. I think it was Aiden King with another one. A lot of work this afternoon. Brisbane State High's line speed has been very good. Joubert and Duke have been coming out of the line. Inside ball. That's Duke one more time with contact.
Well, Churchie haven't been stopped in this position yet.
Ben Ryan runs into some real big traffic. Oh, there's Aiden King one more time. He's running the ball left and right hand side of the field this afternoon. He's very busy. Gets his opportunity. Oh, another pop ball out there to Max Drummond. And we've got numbers out here, Darvo. It's simple maths, but he's come back in.
Carrigan.
Let me tell you, that was one of the highlights so far of the first 20 minutes. We've got numbers on the left-hand side, Churchie. They can't execute properly.
Runners queuing up through midfield as well.
Ben Ryan one more time. Good contact there by Duke. I think he must be in double figures with tackling so far. Well, again.
Huge.
That's that patience there by State High, isn't it?
Ben McKenzie's played all over this back row for State High this season. He's played a bit of 6, bit of 7, and a bit of 8 now. But that over-the-ball skill, I mean, on show there. Snuffing out a very promising raid for Churchie.
So we see just outside the 22 metre. Referee's going to have a bit of a time off. We've got an injured player. Looks like a shoulder injury. Bit of a stinger.
Yeah, I think it's Vian Joubert.
Really like you're working really hard to be
on the ground back there.
I'm not going to listen to you all game.
Well, I think it's going to be a scary.
Just clean that ball.
Well, let's talk.
Bit offside. Same thing for you guys. So if you take an extra step as well, I reckon they're both pretty tight. I'll get them to make sure they're onside. You just keep your boys onside, eh? Yeah. Thanks, mate.
If I had to guess, I'd say State High have been a bit more offside than Churchie so far. But I don't blame the attempt from captain Nesta Mahina. Well, they've got a real challenge coming up with their line-out. They've already lost 2 or 3 throws of their own throws. 20 minutes into this first half. So a big test here.
Just from State High's perspective, Duke and Joubert have been coming off the line in defence and stinging their opposition. So that's taken, hits the deck from Tuinona. Waldy, he's in trouble. Waldy's in trouble. Churchie now with pressure.
Flooding in.
Pick and drive. Getting him out of trouble.
Huge clean from Grant Tuisamoa.
Another pick and drive. One of the lads, Chom Duke, again picking and driving. There's no airs and graces about what he's doing. Good straight through the middle of the ruck there. So again, Tuinona finds himself at scrum half. Pona tries to find the line, hits the deck. There's a ball to the back three. Good again, Tom Duke. I've called his name 1,000 times this afternoon. He is just an absolute machine, Duke.
Here's another play. He started off in number 8 for State High. He's moved his way closer and closer to the front row as the season's gone on. He's actually the Ducks of Advanced English at Brisbane State High School. His favourite novel is To Kill a Mockingbird.
Is that right?
That's right.
Good on him. I've seen the movie. So, Waldy, let's just see what... Churchie would do in this scrum. Last time penalised for not straight pack. Perfect shot there. You can see exactly what Luke Waldy's seeing. So Waldy out to Pona with another crash ball. Right back towards his forwards. That was silly. It's a turnover, I believe. No. Still got... No, it is a turnover. Very lazy effort there. So Prosser outside to Stoddart. Stoddart's been busy in defence, but not much in attack so far. Kick over the top. Will it hit the deck just on the 22? And that ball just goes. That's a great tactical kick there, Darvo.
A great tactical kick, but not the result Churchie would have wanted. If that ball could stay in touch, then they could mount all the pressure in the world and probably come away from that with the penalty. Alas, stayed high with another difficult line-out with this wind blustering around them.
And you're exactly right, though. They have been very loose with their line-outs this afternoon, State High.
Well, there's only one bloke in this team over 190 centimetres, and that's Zeph Tuinona. The rest of them around 184.
Short ball, there's a cheeky one. That was a great play by State High, bit of a trick play.
And much needed.
So, knockback play on, says referee. Cleaned up well by Joubert. Vucker diving on the ball. Yep, Chizzy Vucker was holding on to that ball when he was on the deck.
Connor McKinlay, I think, getting up from... No, it was Aiden King, the hooker. Scored a try and he's given his side another prime opportunity to do so. Winning a turnover deep inside the State High 22.
So just on the 5 metre line there. This should be a...
Guys, take a step.
Really interesting time for State High defensively. Will we see them go up or sack the line-out jumper straight away? You can actually see the size of the difference at the back of the line-out, like you said before, Darvo. It's a very big back three. On the ball on the 5 metre line, 3 metres to go. State High have to be good to hold these guys out now. Duke has to get out of the way. Going to be pick and drops right on the try line. A metre to go. Try time. Referee was right there, so I had no doubts about that.
Well, we can't see who's getting the pats on the back. Maybe it's Aiden King again.
I think you're right. I think King's got a double.
The hatch. Here we go. We're going to see right here. We're going to follow Aiden King as he runs in, supporting this breakdown. Positions himself well just off it. We'll see who takes this hit. King it is. Well, Chet's last match you called, I think Hudson Mulcahy scored 3. Aiden King, we're going to say, scored 2 here. Oh, no.
No, I think King was King was the phase before.
Well, there you go.
Well, it might be the whole front row getting tries this afternoon. Ben Ryan, you're next.
Drummond's been at Churchie since grade 4. He's propped for the A's every year, all the way through to the first 15. He's the last man standing of the starting Churchie front row.
So Prosser, 1 from 2 today. Nearly gets that one charged down, so Prosser unsuccessful yet again.
Tough kick conditions. You think neither team will be adding many points through the boot today. But a great shot here as our cameraman walking back through the State High forwards.
So Churchie 17, State High 0.
He doesn't look too far out of place, Adam, does he?
Look, he's fast.
He's got some speed.
So ball goes up, just on the 20. He's overcooked that one, out in the full. No, touch, says a touchy.
Yeah.
Touched by Toa Tuisamoa.
You've got an option of a line-out or a scrum. Scrum's called.
So option of a line-out or a scrum.
I think in this breeze, scrum is absolutely the smart choice.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lottery at the moment when this wind picks up. It doesn't seem like you might not see it too much on the touchies flags, but let me tell you, it is blowing quite heavy. So here we go.
Crouch.
Prosser to feed the ball. 17-0, 26 gone.
Wait for the ball.
Good scrum. Straight
now
back.
You see that power from State High.
But they did well. Oh, that's a really bad pass. And that's Tui Samoa. That's Grant.
Ball's up.
Ball's up in the air. Referee will call this up. No, ball hits the deck.
Ball's available, use it.
One more time, Waldy. Out to Pona. Pona with another. That's a better pass this time. Day English.
Met by Carrigan.
Tackler! Let it come.
So, no hands called by the referee. Waldy. Good contact. Tom Duke. He's taking the runs and tackling people.
Heavy contact from Charlie Scott. On debut. Coming in for Hutton Shan.
So Tui Nona with an offload again to Chizzy Vaka.
Step on side.
Waldy out to Pona again. They're just taking their time, but Churchie are very patient in defence. That was Nesta Mahina. Pona out the back. Numbers there to the breakdown. There's on the ball there, Darvo.
Phenomenal
Quickly.
on the ball tackle. Ball and all. From the fullback, Wayne Bilston hailing from Darwin.
So Churchie not committing to the ruck. Number 8, Mackenzie taking the truck up one more time. Duke with a clean out, right-hand side of the field to Nielsen. Out to Day English one more time. Still going. Drops to his feet. Drops to his knees, sorry. Ball's out. Well played. That was great by Bilston there. So good patience one more time by Churchie in defence.
Charge down, they might have this back.
It's all right, ball's available.
Churchie retain it just.
So pick and drop. Here we go down the left-hand side. Tui Nona with a good tackle, but still goes out like a thief in the night.
That's a fantastic tackle. Will McPherson steaming away down that blind side. It took a great tackle to take him out. Luckily, Tui Nona had one in supply.
Well, Tui Nona, the tallest, he's a very tall man, isn't he? So he timed that.
See, this is why Will McPherson's carry was so great. Grant Tui Samoa down, injured. He thought he was away. Lucky the long reach of Zeph Tui Nona. Arriving in the nick of time, saving what might have been a certain try.
So really, State High have showed some really good patches this afternoon of even from last week's game, but they just haven't been able to put the foot in the throat at any time.
No, I think it's turnovers that's been the killer for State High. Turnovers on their own line-out ball, on scrum, maybe not scrums, but their ruck ball as well. Those rolling mauls have been turned over in general play. They're giving away a lot of opportunity, and Churchie are going to make them pay.
We'll get sub on. Let's go.
So Grant Tui Samoa will need to be subbed off.
Mate, I'm dealing with it. It's the same with you guys.
So it looks like Grant Tui Samoa looks like he has got a upper arm injury. Looks like shoulder.
I think it looks like that's going to be Grant.
Time on.
Jackson Deacon, I should say, I think. Coming on the number 22 jersey. Started at fly half last time we watched them play. I think he'll be playing fullback potentially with Luke Nielsen shifting to the wing.
Right, okay, very good. So Deacon on for Tui Samoa. Another contact. Tom Fowl, the big man. He's had a breather, as all front rowers love to have. Waldy, Pona. Good ball to Joubert. Offload. Here we go. There's numbers on the left-hand side if they can punish Nielsen. Nielsen on the outside. Nielsen with getting it over the 22-metre line. Slow ball by State High. Pick and drive. There we go. Day English one more time. Over the top of the ball, Aiden King. Aiden King was all over that ball there. Davo, he's everywhere this afternoon. Out the back door one more time. Advantage over, referee says. That's a very, very, very good kick.
Finding touch just on the State High 40-metre line. And again, these turnovers coming back to bite. For all that good work State High had done and all the hard work they'd poured into advancing the ball upfield, one turnover and they're back to square one.
Well, as we said, Aiden King's really relishing his opportunity this afternoon, really impressing.
Some wonderful depth in the hooking stocks at Churchie this year.
We've seen some very good hookers all through the competition. It's exciting for a hooker's side of things anyway. So, yeah.
Oh dear.
Well, you do these little small 1%ers in this wind. You go short, takes out that opportunity of a not straight throw.
A lot of heavy breathing going on out in the field. We can hear it from Brett Cronin, our referee. We can hear it from the front rows. They've had to work hard, cover a huge amount of distance in this first half. We've seen action in every part of the field.
Crouch.
So just on the 10-metre line, inside State High's half.
Perfect opportunity to run a strike play.
So Prosser with the feed. Good scrum by Churchie. Prosser's pass again, too high. Referee says that's okay.
Saw it taken high, but he's so big and strong he didn't even notice.
He's like swatting him off. 2-3 passes out to the left-hand side wing to Carrigan, unfortunately. I think that could have been an opportunity for just numbers there, not go through the hands.
Here's the Churchie bench, looking very comfortable.
So, same area on the field, just on the other side, so on the 10-metre line. State High side. So Luke Waldy to feed the ball. Just under 5 minutes to go before half-time.
Churchie defence, the third rated defensive unit in the competition behind TSS and Nudgee College, and they've got another one.
Well, we spoke about the size of State High, but geez, Churchie's technique there destroyed them.
And Churchie just haven't given State High a sniff all game long.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. They haven't given an opportunity or a sniff here, and that's frustrating State High. You can tell the frustration when Nesta Mahina is talking to the referee and just asking the questions, trying to get those little 1%ers to bounce his way. So here we go.
Churchie mentioned number 3 attack, only 6th in... the third-ranked defence, only 6th in attack. They're scoring 19 points per game. They've already averaged that.
So the ball goes over the top again.
And it's just turnover city. Neither team wants to run with this ball.
So Churchie will be wanting to do exactly the same as last scrum. Really get under the Brisbane State High School front row.
Well, there's only minutes remaining in this half. 35-minute halves, the norm in first 15 rugby in the GPS. So rapidly approaching halftime, State High want to land a counter-strike. One last punch before going into the sheds.
So Waldy with a feed. The scrum by Churchie is very good one more time. Wow.
Unreal.
Quick.
Well, Max Drummond, Aiden King and Ben Ryan take a bow.
So going to take the points. I think at this time of the game, 20-0 going into the half-time. Well, you can just see from a scrummaging perspective, the Churchie front row, as you said before, just give them a wrap. They got under their other front row. When they're bigger than you, get under them, and they just popped them.
Some great long levers in the second row as well, in the shape of Fred Futrell and Charlie Scott, both 196 and 197 centimetres respectively. There's plenty of engine in that room.
I reckon if you stay straight there the whole way through, you get a turnover and you get advantage and a crack and a try. Yeah, okay. So if you can try and stay straight that whole time, get a tight end. Try and get my inside. Yeah.
Strikes it. Makes no mistake.
Well, not the easiest kick in these conditions, but Aaron Prosser strikes true. 20 points to 0 the margin. Interesting
feedback the referee gives to the young fella on that as well, keeping straight. It's good to hear that kind of feedback from the referee's perspective, and what he sees is a strength for the young fella.
Well, I can see, these boys, they've seen the big scrummaging penalties on TV, and they want to get one of those. It's like the David Pocock who made holding on to get the not releasing penalty popular. But the referees say, if you can pull it out and play with it, why don't you?
That's it. So here we go, restart again, 20-0. A couple of minutes to go before, or just under a minute to go, sorry. So just, Churchie might just be happy just to hold this ball until referee blows half-time. Prosser one more out the back door.
That's time on our clock.
Up in the air, going to go the high ball. Number 7 was through there.
Well taken, Luke Waldy.
So Waldy under pressure. It's an up and down fest this afternoon. Goes high, comes down on the ground. It's in State High's hands.
Well, this will be their chance.
This will be their last chance before half-time, you would imagine. Tuinona, the big second rower.
An important clean arriving just in time.
No one was there, so Sam McKenzie had to do the job of his number 9. Clean out by State High. A few late runners coming back on side. Tafa Tumavave. That's who you want to be running at just before half-time. Here's a little dart, is Waldy. He sees an opportunity. So we have to pick and drive again. No one's at home.
The Churchie forwards trying their absolute best to turn this ball over. But it might have opened up wide for State High.
So Tuinona there was instrumental in that movement. 15 is Nielsen. As you're right, Darvo, he has moved to the wing. So we see this Tuinona at first receiver one more time. He's offloaded about 3 or 4 times this afternoon. This time he takes the hit up, and there's good contact by Churchie.
Connor McKinlay.
Out the back door, Pona. Pona with a kick through. Has he got the paceman out there? No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. That's Pona. He's got the ball himself. He'll score!
Phenomenal stuff. I think that's our Try Time Tuesday right there.
You're not kidding. So Pona, nothing was on there, Darvo, and all of a sudden, bang, try.
Oh, that's the thing. Queensland Schoolboys centre Francis Pona finds himself most comfortable in the 12th position. He's moved into 10 for State High in the last 2 weeks, and he is making an absolute killing in that position. Phenomenal stuff, identifying the space in behind the ruck, the acceleration to scoop it up, the footwork to finish, and the fend. Saying goodbye to one of the chasing Churchie forwards. That's a wonderful first-class try.
Well, I'll tell you what, when he looked outside, I think he had a number 8 and a blindside flanker out there. I'll just do it myself. So that was unbelievable. Well done.
Putting the team onto his shoulders.
And that's exactly 20 to 5 or 20 to 7 at half time. Is a lot better than 20-0.
Played the entirety of the 2017 season at fly half. Relegated State High's premiership winning fly half Isaac Crone to the 9 jersey in 2017. That's how good Francis Ponar was. Showing a bit of that form again today. With a tough kick, you got to say. You can see how much that wind has taken that kick, but it wasn't enough.
And just interesting, Isaac Crone, dinner last night with all them and all their family last night for a presentation night. So nice to meet them. They're a very nice family. So it's a very small world, Darbo, this GPS rugby.
Oh, absolutely it is. It's great to see so many of those boys continuing on into club rugby after their school careers.
So that's half time now, 20 to 5. State High just hitting back at half time. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll see you in about 5 minutes' time. Well, welcome back to the second half action this afternoon, where Churchie are leading 20 points to 5, where State High just scored just on half-time. Davo, pretty enterprising half in certain aspects.
Well, the tail of the first half has got to be the turnovers. They've just crippled both teams' attacking opportunities. Churchie benefited from winning a few of those turnovers deep inside the 22 and muscling it up through the forwards. So a 15-point margin is the difference at present, but the game has not been that sort of wide open. It's been much tighter, much closer than that, would indicate.
The wind is probably a bit of favouring State High this half, so if that's got anything to go by from the first half, we hopefully see some points from State High.
Well, Francis Pona scored last, the man kicking off here for State High to put their 5 points on the board.
So big kickoff just on the 22-metre line. Well taken in the windy conditions.
Max Drummond, Aidan King and Will McPherson, the try scorers for Churchie, with a few kicks from Aaron Prosser, the halfback.
So Bilston takes a really good run out of trouble. One more time, offload. Another big run by...
Excellent.
Is that Ben Ryan?
I think big Benny Ryan.
Big Ben Ryan. Oh, ball goes down, knock on. Oh, there we go. Offside, accidental offside, but referee says no, penalty. So here we go. This is State High's opportunity to go back-to-back. Liston...
He's going to go very close, 5 metres in.
Tuamavave, he's a big human being. Out to left-hand side again. High ball pass. It's a long-ranging pass out there to the left winger.
Tau Tuisamoa.
We saw his brother sitting over there in the shed before. He's got some ice on the shoulder. Doesn't look good at all. Tuinona, one more hit up. State High starting how they finished the first half, Tuamavave, one more time. He wants a try this afternoon. 5 metres out. There's a 5-metre line right there.
Mackenzie goes over it. Tackled by Izzy Sword, who's not rolling away.
What's a winger doing in there? Right-hand side, numbers here. Pona, will he do it himself again? Rip the ball, there's a 3-on-1 tackle, and there's a winger, Harry Carrigan, in there.
Important turnover, denying State High. It all depends on this exit kick, though.
So, getting out of trouble.
Churchie playing into the win in the second half.
Kicking up. It's going to find touch. That's good pressure by State High.
That's actually a very good kick in these conditions. South African-born Aaron Prosser.
So here we go.
He's got a bit of a Conor Murray vibe to him, I think, Aaron Prosser, in his game management kicking.
So Mahina with a throw. These 1%ers they need to get right. Goes up and over. Referee says knock on.
It's hot potato on that line out.
Hot potato. 22-metre line there.
But ultimately it counts against State High. Churchie take it.
So getting out of trouble just over the 22-metre. McPherson there.
His team can't kick out on the full now.
Trying with the numbers, trying to get the big men on the smaller men out the right-hand side. Has to force back inside. That's the 22 again. Contact by the big second rower. Lets him go. State High not committing to the ruck this time as well. Right-hand side of the park. Shows a dummy. That's Aidan King, I think. Tackled by Chizzy Vaka. So not releasing on the ground.
It's a penalty to Churchie.
I'd have to say, as a number 7 with Chizzy Vaka, he's a very tight number 7. We don't see much around him. He has a lot of work on the ball.
I think he's a natural number 8, Chizzy Vaka. He loves to carry the ball, but his I think his work rate, his speed, his ability to defend, that makes him a really good 7 in this forward pack. I think it's no surprise that the first winning back row combination State High put together had him at 7.
So line out. Aidan King to throw the ball in. Goes up in the air. That was Ogilvie.
Tight.
And that's the kind of line out throws you want in this weather.
Well, there's plenty offside here for State High.
So I think that was built. Who was that taking the ball up? That was Harry Carrigan, was it? No, Carrigan's on over this side. In the middle of the field. Gets just over the gain line. Good clean out. Ball's ready. Shows and goes. Referee says get away from the ball. Prosser. Yeah, accidental offside there. So there's just a little bit of pressure taken off by Churchie, just running into each other. So, last couple of scrums in the first half there was some real dominant by Churchie. So, let's just see if State High have really worked on their scrum.
Crouch. Bind.
Looks like a bit of a backline shuffle in this Churchie backline. Charlie Howard, the fly half, seems to have come off. Nick Duncoves has come onto the wing. Wayne Bilston to fly half, it seems.
So on the outside, he's got some pace there. Nielsen gets around his outside number. The ball just pops back. That's not what you want. You want control your ball. That's a good pickup by Waldy. He had to clean up some rubbish. So Vucker on the ball. Hands on the ball. Referee says no, you can't do that. Bilston, unfortunately, jumped out of the gate too quickly. Up again. Sorry, that was Tuinona. I think he's got number 10 on his back this afternoon. Bit of
silky skills.
Silky skills indeed. So again, Waldy. Pona drops the ball, but referee will come back to the penalty.
Nestor Mahina, the captain, couldn't hold on to that one.
So Bilston was penalised for coming in too early. Tap it. Oh, there we go. Quick tap by Waldy. Tuinona one more time. Up the middle of the field. Work rate high. Cleaned out by Chizzy Vucker. Mahina, the skipper. Big guy, Tom Fowler, one more time. They've got some big men out there, Darvo, and there's kind of, it's like a fight. Punch, 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 then going for the knockout. Tuamavave, inside to Mahina, a prop to a hooker. How good's that again?
We're going to see another hooker try.
Will we see it? 1 metre out, slowing the ball down. Churchie very much looping pass on the left-hand side. That's Tui Samoa. 5 metres out.
Great defence from Churchie to jockey out and shut down. There was space out there.
So McKenzie, that's this pressure by Churchie and just rushing a bit too far. One more time, Darvo. I think hands would have done that. Through the hands, might have punished Churchie.
Well, you got to pay absolute credit to the tackling of Aiden King there, jolting the ball free from the grip of Ben McKenzie. I beg your pardon, it was not Ben. Ben's his elder brother. It's Sam McKenzie. Ben obviously playing for Brisbane State High School for a number of years, like 14, 15, he was the number 8. A lock flanker hybrid. Very, very similar to his younger brother Sam.
So, second scrum of this half.
Well, I wonder what the impact of losing fly half Charlie Howard will be for Churchie. It'll be the first backline change they've made all year.
And at number 10, that's a big impact, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's a real quarterback of the team, the fly half.
I always find it interesting when any team lose a very important person like your 9, 10 or 12, how they adapt to it. Have they got a plan B? Have they practiced or trained for it? So we'll soon find out.
Well, Wayne Bilston, the fullback, who thinks, oh, it's a penalty.
Well, referee wasn't happy, dropping to his knee. Quick tap again by Waldy. Good contact on the right-hand side of the park.
It's King on Fowler.
So patience this time for State High. The big number 5, Tom Duke, drops the ball. There's another pressure.
Consecutive turnovers in the red zone from State High. And this Churchie crowd up on their feet, they are loving it.
Nielsen under the ball. Nielsen has got some toe, we've seen this afternoon. On the outside of Pona. Pona pushes one off and breaks 2. No tackle. Play on, says referee. Pona, right foot, left foot, offloads there to Waldy. The 9 and 10 combining constantly. Good contact, slows the ball down, pick and drive. There's Vucker one more time near the 5 metre line. The crowd is getting behind Churchie.
Gee, the intensity of the State High team.
Tuamavave!
Against the post.
Try!
Planting it against the post is all you need, and Linston Tuamavave.
Well, that was a try. That was just build up of pressure there, Darvo.
And all from the back of this wonderful carry from Francis Pona, beating half the Churchie defence and getting State High in a position where they had 2 knock-ons in a row in this exact same position. This time, Linston Tafa Tuamavave says not today. He's going to drive the post and score. Phenomenal stuff, and State High right back in this game.
Now, let's be honest, with a human being coming at you that fast, close to the line, Darvo, that's really hard to beat.
He's a shade under 6 foot tall, 112 kilograms.
So
he's got a proud family history as well. He's the cousins with Pat Taff, who was a premiership winning number 8 at State High back in 2016. The MMA fighters are the Taffa brothers, Bunty Afol from the NRL Warriors, and Carlos Tuimavave. So some real pedigree in young Linston's family line.
MMA fighters, don't want to mess with them at Christmas time over the last piece of cake. So 20 points to 10. Kick off. Here's that man, Pona. He's been lighting this afternoon. Last 15 minutes have been very strong.
He's been the spark in this State High comeback. He's a very important player for them.
Pona to Vaka, supported by Duke. My father always said you need to have a couple of redheads on the team, and they've got 2 here, State High, this afternoon. Pixon drives out. That's a try scorer. He wants it again to Tuinona to the left-hand side of the park. Here comes State High. Left-hand side. That's Tui Samoa. Darvo, State High have come out all guns blazing.
All guns.
Mahina!
Oh, another turnover. Gosh.
Well,
and the frustration, you can feel it emanating from these players just as they're starting to come good and really fire some shots. Another brutal turnover. But look at this here. Tafa Tuimavave popping the offload around the corner. The galloping giraffe. Zeph Tuinona. The basketball pass finding Tau Tui Samoa. And a brilliant chase down tackle there from Connor McKinlay. We know he's got pace and he would need every bit of it there.
Yeah, Nestor Mahina just having a little bit of a look there, and the ball goes loose. That's the 3rd time in the last 5 minutes that the pressure's been taken off.
And for the skipper as well, Nestor Mahina, that's an awful feeling, you know, when your team looking up to you to lead them forward.
So, crosser.
The Viking clap in the background.
Goes for a show and go, crosser. Ben Stoddart goes to scrum half. Picks and drives, a bit of mix up there, but Aiden King cleans up nicely.
He's been very good for Churchie, Aiden King.
One more time, getting himself out of trouble. That was Harry Carrigan. Oh, it wasn't. Sorry. I missed that number. Here we go again. So Nielsen, he's got some pace. Right foot, left foot step. Shimmy and a whoosh over the halfway line. Good clean out. Right hand side, left hand defence. Pona puts the ball down. Unfortunately, that just tipped away from him, Darvo, just before he caught that ball.
Well, it's a long cutout pass with throwing in the wind. We see some movement on the State High bench. There might be some subs coming in not too long. I think it's the fatigue as well starting to set in for the State High forward pack. Playing at this high intensity, throwing these a flurry of sort of punches and counter strikes. It takes it out of you on a hot day, or I beg your pardon, on a cold day. It's certainly not hot.
But it's those passes that stick that gets everyone's momentum going, and you only need a couple of those sticking, and all of a sudden, State High back in it.
The breakdown in skills.
Crosser. 12. Stoddart's gone to 12. Number 10, it looks like. Good.
13, Izzy Sword. Back on the inside.
Their advantage offside. State High a bit too keen. Coming off the line.
Offside.
So as you said, Darvo, a bit of a shuffle in the back line. Looks like Stoddart was playing at fly half there, just off the scrum. So see if he controls the game a bit more.
There's young Josh Mahina throwing up the peace sign on the bench. A younger relation of Nest. I'm not sure if he's a brother or a cousin.
Doesn't find touch. That's critical. And look at the State High. They put that back with interest.
Well, that's the position State High have now found themselves in. They've got a roaring breeze at their back. They can afford to sit back and kick all day long and start to enforce the pressure that Churchie inflicted on them in the first half.
Anyone's played rugby before, you've got to use the wind to your advantage, and at the moment, State High are really starting to do that.
Well, Churchie's one of the few grounds in the GPS, Brisbane Grammar at Northgate being the other one, where the wind can really decide matches. State High aren't using it effectively just yet.
So Charlie Scott takes that one up high. Nice and clean. Good contact. Number 7, that's McKinlay. Gets over the gain line, very strong. Referee, he's getting a bit frustrated, I believe, referee.
Was the time stopped there? Was that what that second blow was?
That's why I thought he was going to go to.
Yeah, I thought it might have been a pocket.
Go to the pocket, yeah, that's right.
Well, I guess the penalties are racking up against Churchie.
So here's back-to-back get out of jail free cards for State High. So Pona with a very good...
Oh, he's copped some of the State High girls. It's a dangerous position to be sitting in when you're not paying attention to the match.
I was going to say exactly the same thing. Always pay attention to the match.
When you're that close.
I guarantee that's going to go on YouTube. There we go.
There's a cracked phone screen, I'm sure.
Crack something. So Mahina, one more time. Vucker was going to go up the back, but they go to number 4, Tuinona. Out the back door. I tell you what, a few Harbour Bridge passes. Just right down the middle. Gets in the gain line. Over the top is Tuamavave. No one was home. Pick up and drive by Tui Samoa. Tuamavave. There's a massive man rumbling through. Not too far to go. Let's just see now if State High have got the patience to really put the foot in the throat.
But gee, that... Well, you can only imagine how State High coach Pat Byron and his assistant Fletcher Dyson must be feeling right now.
And it's a double falcon.
It's a triple.
A triple falcon. There it is.
The rarest of the falcon.
I'm sure you'll see that again and again and again. And girls, you now...
I've got to ask our production team, well, can we squeeze that into Try Time Tuesday?
Oh, the boys are enjoying that. We can tell you what's right now. So here we go. Back to the game.
You can see the injured party in the background.
doesn't find the line. Here we go. She's now watching the game. Here we go. Tui Samoa. Tui Samoa. Breaks one tackle, gets the contact. Luke Nielsen tries to do the clean out, misses completely. Nielsen at scrum half. No, Vucker wants the ball. Give me the ball, he says. Very tight number 7, like I said before. He's been very strong this afternoon. But no.
Well, who's that over the ball? Passions flaring.
Yes, the redhead's always in there.
Well, Churchie, they know how big that was. It's just constant repelling of these State High incursions into their half.
Let's get out. Let's go. Get out.
So it seems to be the pressure for State High, and then all the pressure gets taken off by a knock-on or a penalty. And let's not take it away from Churchie's defence. Churchie's defence has been very strong.
No, they haven't given up a lot of opportunities to State High, but they're taking it quickly. It's game on.
Contact there, just getting
Jacob Middleton pole, pound for pound the strongest player on the field.
And there's a turnover there, Darvo. Just as we were saying that, it's a pick and drive by the big number 2, Mahina. He's been good on the ball this afternoon. There's a pretty ugly pass, but referee was right there. Turnover, one more time. He's at 22. That was Deacon. So, Prosser. Take another hit up is Aiden King.
Well, I'll tell you what, if State High can ever put together more than 5 faces, they will be dangerous.
Oh, there's a little bit of a gap in the middle there. Offload to the big fella, rumbling down the middle. Another winger. We've got a pace man on the right-hand side. One to beat. Tackled by Nielsen. This is looking red hot for Churchie. And they've picked and drove again. State High, they are under pressure. Darvo, I've got to take a breath. Here we go again on the right-hand side. 23. I've lost who the number is, Darvo.
There's no time to breathe. Keep going.
Here we go. 5 metres out from the try line. State High have done well to slow that ball down, but Churchie red hot on the right-hand side. So that's really what Churchie didn't want, to slow the ball down. Pick and drive 4 or 5 metres out from the line.
Well, going back to our original approach in the first half, it yielded 3 tries. Will it bring their 4th?
So it's a turnover there. Who is that? That looked like Tom Fowler picked that one up. Well, I tell you what.
That's cruel, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a real disappointing end, but they get the ball back.
And here we see the wonderful break from Churchie. Prosser accelerating through the line and fighting with the offload. Oh, I can't have a number. I think it's Ogilvy there, floating the ball wide. And Churchie queuing up on the outside. That's Nick Duncoves, came on for the injured Charlie Howard. And all of a sudden, into the 22 with support sweeping ahead, Will McPherson. Phenomenal stuff, and all credit to State High for able to shut that down. That is exceptional defence.
And this is an opportunity now to reset your line. Well, let's just see what Churchie do now in regards to scrum time. Do they keep it in and try to get a penalty And as we know, you can't push too far in the scrums and schoolboy rugby.
No, the under-19 rules, you can only take it 2 metres forward. So a push-over try probably out of the question here. But we've heard how referee Brett Cronin wants this done. He wants the ball out.
So here we go. Aaron Prosser. You'd have to say that if Churchie go in here, it's been against the real grain of the second half so far.
Absolutely, it's been the state high show for all however many minutes it's been. Jeez. There has been a lot of time passed. We're deep into the second half, and all of a sudden this game is anyone's for the taking.
Fine.
Well, ever since State High scored a try just before half-time, they've really had a bit of a grown an extra leg. So 5 metres out, Prosser with the feed. We see Stoddart waiting, number 12 playing number 10. Shows and goes, contact there, Vucker's over the ball. Slows the ball one more time, pick and drive. 3 metres to go. State High not committing anyone to the rucker. Inside ball, doesn't work this time. That was wrapped up by Tom Fowler and I think Nesta Mahina as well. Pick and drive one more time. Darby, you're right. Are they going to go through them or are they going to go around them?
Advantage offside.
Referee says offside.
Well, they've got a free play now, but Churchie's so compressed. All 15 of their players are standing within 20 metres of each other.
Yeah, ball is out.
I think there's not even a thought to go wide.
So Stoddart chatting.
Yeah, he wants Izzy's Sword coming back on the hard line.
Well, look at the side of Sword. You can see the size of him as well. Why wouldn't you be giving him it this close to the line? So, a couple of metres to go. Haven't really gone far. Churchie cutting out to the right-hand side. Number 15 is Bilston. Doesn't go far. The State High defence is very strong. Short ball.
Oh, good hands, Aiden King.
Great hands. What can't he do this afternoon? We can see Sword just wanting the ball over here, but they're not even looking that way. A couple of metres to go. Everyone's waiting around.
State High spent a few minutes camped on their goal line now.
So referee says short, can't be too far away. And he's gone to he's gone to the penalty.
Going back to the advantage, the long advantage, but he didn't go anywhere, so that's totally fair enough in my book.
Yeah, the referee this afternoon has been very strong. Good communication, been playing a good advantage, and yeah, both teams have been very treated evenly by the referee this afternoon. So going for the scrum.
There was 2 or 3 offsides.
Right in front of the old boys scoreboard.
Guys with hands in front of the breakdown.
That's got to take it out here from a State High perspective, Darbo. Defending so long. Been turning about 3 or 4 minutes.
I often wonder in situations like that when you have the big front row, maybe depending on the goal line, it's the easiest place to defend. You don't have any line speed when you need to take up running. All you got to do is hit, and these boys do know how to hit.
Oh.
They might be playing into their strengths.
So, Churchie with an opportunity to go further ahead. Scrum at the back, number 8 picks over to
Bilston.
Bilston with a hit up. There's a bit of contact there. One more time. Close to the line. We've still got the big human being Sword out here. They're not even thinking about it. Sword and Carrigan. They're going to catch a cold out here. A couple of metres to go.
Nesta Mahina's all over that ball. Turnover's good, Brett Cronin says.
Going forward, red ball.
Mahina, he was the man.
Nesta Mahina, the rock at the bottom of that breakdown.
Number 2 is on his feet, won the ball. Ball came stuck. Red ball.
Clean as. And State High with another let off. And all of a sudden it's Churchie who are failing to get the job done.
Well, it's interesting, the patience of players, that you don't have to go for every single ball, just go for the quality. When it's opportunity, have a crack at it. So it's baked by Nesta Mahina. Look at this shot. You'll see exactly where Mahina came straight over the ball and ate it. No worries at all.
And there's absolutely no blasting him off that ball. Conor McKinlay got in there and had a fair crack. Just too strong, too powerful in that position over the ball.
Well, you look at the guys like Andrew Reedy as a hooker. He's an extra flanker on the field. He's over the ball more times than anyone. He's unbelievable. So here we go, running it out from inside their own try line.
Silly.
So half back there. Number 16, new man on the field. Vucker taking the hit up. Getting themselves out of trouble. Tries to go. Gets a bit of contact there. Doesn't find touch. That's number 11 is Carrigan. He's back at fullback with a white headgear. Goes left. Referee says no. Crisscross.
Obstruction.
Obstruction.
Quick tap one more time. Doesn't want to go touch. Pona. He goes deep.
This is a great kick.
He wants this one to stay in. If that goes over the dead ball line, we're going back for a try. So we'll have to go back for a try. A scrum. All the way
From
back
the
there.
position he kicked it. It was a monster kick as well over 60 metres. Just boosted by that wind. That kick was never going to stop.
He had the right idea, Darvo, but unfortunately...
Absolutely, there was acres of space out there.
The bounce of a rugby ball is, as we've said, very disappointing. So we've got a replacement here. Looks like Bradman Williams is on.
Replacing big Tommy Fowler.
So, scrum time. 20 points to 10.
And the Church support making themselves heard. But I'll tell you what, I think if State High can score next, this will be one of the games of the season. We're heading for an absolute showdown finish, as long as State High can be the next to cross.
Yeah, you're right, Davo. They really need that. But getting that pressure, they've got to build that pressure. And I just like Francis Pona just looking up, play what's in front of him. And unfortunately, execution. But the idea was right, though. Referee says, had enough of that. So Bradman Williams straight on.
40 metres out and not too far from the centre of the field. On any other day you might kick, but not in this wind. We're going to see Will McPherson take his first kick for the line of the afternoon. He was a rangy centre half forward down in Melbourne.
Yeah, you don't see many blindside flankers taking the kicks for the line, but he hit that perfectly.
No, not since Gregory Terrace captain Paddy Carrigan back in 2015. He's now at the Brisbane Broncos, but he used to kick for the line. You don't see many.
So just overcooks it a little bit there. It was actually a good throw, but unfortunately just the catcher couldn't take it. Here we go. There's a turnover. Stay high.
With a lot of space out in this wing.
Is that... Sorry, I missed that.
Jackson Deacon, I think.
Oh, Deacon, there we go. Saw an opening. Just didn't have just an ankle tap there. Got him. They're passing out. That's Williams with a hit up. Loose carry, unfortunately. Double knock on. Triple knock on.
Geez, Black couldn't come at a better moment for State High. Churchie's losing their footing and spilling that ball and robbing themselves a wonderful opportunity in broken play.
So just a little bit of a... And actually, the field out there is perfect. It's absolutely beautiful this afternoon. It's a good field.
There's not a lick of dew on it. But we expected this weekend there was going to be a month's worth of rainfall falling within 24 hours. Certainly has not been the case. A strong breeze, 18 kilometres an hour, the only sort of conditions to worry about. The rain a long way away from here.
Hope the farmers are getting it, though. Here we go. Scrum, just in the 22-metre line. Gets out of trouble. Referee might be saying, is that taken back in? Yeah, it is, taken back in. And there's that game management, Darvo. I know it's young blokes, but I tell you what, a bit of game management, you've got to know where you are on the field, and you've got to know exactly what you need to be doing.
Some better communication needed, perhaps.
So, about 8 minutes to go in the game. Churchie 20, State High 10.
Will Churchie with their chance now with 8 minutes remaining, just under, to land a killer blow.
So Prosser at scrum half, just directing traffic. Looks like they're just happy at the moment. It's to pick and drive and go to the forwards. Tuinona comes through and tries to disrupt the ball. Tom Fowler in there as well, trying to annoy people. Again. Quick tap by Mahina, the skipper. I'm not too sure if that was the right idea because he got to line out right down. So Pona, outside ball. That Deacon. Referee says another penalty. I'll be surprised if the referee doesn't start warning a few players. There's been a fair few more penalties.
A number of penalties, absolutely the case. But State High, wow, quick tapping from this position.
If it works, it'll be a miracle. But turnover to Churchie. There we go.
The game manager of State High really letting them down in these dying minutes.
So Prosser one more time. Been busy. Very good this afternoon. The contact has been unbelievable.
Churchie with their tails up.
So that will start.
Spinning it back to the left.
Bilston. He'll score! Well, Darvo, he showed more toe than a Roman sandal there off the line, let me tell you.
He showed speed, of course, but the strength as well to just break free of that tackle. Striding free and the acceleration there to finish. Just what the doctor ordered for Churchie. A great try from Wayne Bilston. Starred for the Northern Territory under-18s last year at the National Championships as a 16-year-old. He arrived at Church next season, and this is his first season playing in the first 15. And he's a player who's going to be in this age group, and he's going to be a factor in this Church first 15 for a while yet. Phenomenal try.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Darvo. The strength and acceleration out of that tackle was unbelievable.
I think that's very much the case for all over this Churchie backline. I mean, guys like Jacob Middleton, Polo, who's so small but so strong. Izzy Sword, who's just a powerful human being. Ben Stoddard, Thick Zed, William Bilston, who, well, he's got a lot of punch. That's the case from 9 to 15. It's strength through the Churchie backline. But a bit of speed there, rounding off, putting the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you'd have to say there, Darvo, that is the fat lady singing. However, we know if State High put a few phases together, a couple of quick tries, we could see a bit of a...
Well, if you State High at this point, you've got to wonder if they did take that kick for touch, have a line out around the 50-metre line, would they have given up that try just then? And the answer is probably not.
Yeah, you're right, and that's those brain snaps, or unless you're coaching to do that kind of thing, but you've got to be smart, because there's plenty of time. 5 minutes in a rugby field is a long time.
You could see young Alex Smith running the water, former first 15 player for State High. Fullback / blindside.
So Pona with a kick, but that's taken well by Joubert. So Tom Fowler, supported by Chizzy Vucker.
Well, they've got to score a couple times now, State High.
So scrum half to Tuinona. Been busy on that left-hand side, very strong on that left-hand side of the park. Oh, Mahina, one more time. I mean, again, very frustrating that just taking that pressure off, and you see all the Churchie relief.
17 points might be the final difference in the end, but you got to say, Churchie were not a team that was 17 points better than State High today. It was just simple errors and a whole lot of them to let down this team. They had a real opportunity here to do something more, and they'll be disappointed with what they've managed to do. Just 3 weeks left after today in this GPS rugby season.
It goes fast, Darvo, doesn't it? It's unbelievable.
Fast. And there's some mouth-watering clashes coming up. BBC Nudgee, Southport Nudgee. Some real premiership deciders coming up in the next few weeks. Double Take Sports will be here for every one of them.
So down the right-hand side, Bilston puts it on the toe, hits the deck. Nielsen has been good this afternoon when he's had an opportunity. Big contact by Churchie. That was Connor McKinlay, the number 7.
I've been so impressed with Connor McKinlay all season long.
He has been like a seagull on a chip on that ball right then. That's his penalty, Darvo. You're exactly right.
He's just been wonderful. It's his first and last season in the first 15, coming down from Mackay. He used to play for the Mackay City Redmen, the rugby club up there.
Well, it's great having a number 7 who's like an old school number 7. He's on the ball, he's hard in defence, hard on attack.
Well, there's been some wonderful 7s coming through Church in the last few years. David Pocock, the most notable. Michael Gunn. Michael Gunn, Liam Wright, Connor Mitchell. There's just been an absolute production line in the last few years.
Must be in the water.
It must be in the water. In that creek that runs through Churchie.
So here we go.
Some not bad hookers either. Aiden King been an absolute standout.
Last couple of minutes, 27-10. Churchie up. See the wind coming directly at us. Unfortunately, that wind got that one too.
Well, that throw notwithstanding, I think Aiden King is probably in the best for Churchie today. I'm happy to give him my man of the match award as we tick over 90 seconds remaining in round 6.
Yeah, Aiden King, I agree totally. He's been very strong all over the park. Got the first try of the afternoon, and just one little mistake there, but the rest of the game's been great.
No, it's absolutely brilliant, I think. And the whole Churchie front row, I mean, they've battled well above their weight, quite literally 50 kilograms underdogs. You got to give a massive shout out to all those boys with Aiden King leading from the front. From State High there, fly half Francis Ponar. Gee, he gave an absolute red-hot crack through the end of the first half and the start of the second. Couldn't get it done for his team today.
So there we go, there's Deacon.
And there's that man Ponar now throwing off one.
So just trying to get themselves out of trouble now with a couple of minutes to go, or not even a minute to go. The referee might be maybe a minute or so on his clock. And there we go. That's probably sums up the last 15 minutes of State High's afternoon. And there we go. That's it. So
Full
Dava.
time. Churchie continue on. 4 wins and 1 loss. State High quite the opposite. 1 win and 4 losses on this season.
I'd have to say, as you said before, that the scoreline doesn't represent the actual, how close the game was. And I think those couple of mistakes in really key times, Nesta Mahina, a couple of drop balls, that really took the wind out of State High.
That's right. They were kicking at such a great pace and there's such intensity, such up-tempo rugby. I think with the result, you don't even talk about the result. You say through that second half, that was some of the most entertaining schoolboy rugby we've seen all year, where both teams absolutely threw the kitchen sink at each other. And what more could you want on a beautiful Saturday afternoon? Not a drop of rain in sight. Some wonderful schoolboy footy on display.
Davo, it's been an absolute pleasure calling this game. It's been a lot of fun. We will be back next week. It is absolutely sensational this afternoon. We've had a great afternoon. 27-10. Brisbane State High goes down to Churchie. But let me tell you, it's an exciting afternoon.
It's been a very big day across the GPS. The Southport School ticking over 60 points to 43. Just about the final margin. 60 points to 45, beg your pardon. The final margin on the Gold Coast, now secondary stream. If you really want to and you want to pass some time until the Bledisloe Cup, why not tune in for that full match?
We want to see an Australian team, go pretty well. So thank you for joining us this afternoon. My name's Michael Chettle. Nick Davaniza, it's an absolute pleasure one more time. We'll see you everyone next week. Good afternoon.